We all need energy. And what a lot of people don't realize is that in order to create the energy, you just don't turn on a switch. I mean, in some cases, there is shut-in production, like in...
That's what's happening if you don't have energy.
Yes. Silence. What would the world be like without energy? We would not have the electricity to power our radios, to power our homes, to power our hospitals, to power our cell phones, or the internet. And without the energy to propel the fuels, to propel the cars and the rocket ships, there wouldn't be any satellites above. So once again, no more cell phones and no more global positioning.
Why do you say that? I mean, there's nobody that is advocating that we don't rely on energy, that we don't want energy.
So I think it's important to realize that we must have energy. Without energy, we are an uncivilized world. We are back at the cave level, and so we must make choices for energy. So what I think it's important for everyone to realize is there is no choice between do we have energy or do we not have energy. To me, the choice is what is our mixture of energy. And so my good friend Scott Tinker likes to say that the answer is all of the above. And by that he means we need to use everything. We need to use gas. We need natural gas, particularly because it's a very clean fuel. We need to use liquid petroleum because it's the most powerful concentrated source of energy to propel our vehicles. But we also need to have the other mixtures, which include wind power and solar power and geothermal power and nuclear. And here's the thing. There's no universal answer for everyone everywhere. What's the right mix? So there's different natural abundances around the world.
Do you think that the AAPG has some members or companies that are part of the association that they are chasing the possibility of do this switch and moving towards the energies of tomorrow?
So just to follow up on the phrase switch, our good friend Scott Tinker has produced a program that has seen tremendous, he's taken it to the movie theaters to help educate the public on the different choices that all the communities have. And so AAPG, and that through support from our AAPG Foundation, AAPG has really been out there helping to have the conversation about how it's all about energy. And in the near term, in our day-to-day, we're very focused on the things we know best, which are the oil and the gas, because that is part of the things that are an important part of the mixture. But we've really put an effort to be inclusive. So can we say that
AAPG is advocating for the switch, or AAPG is more conservative and say, no, we just want to protect and enhance and bold our members that are part of the oil and gas industry?
Well, I would say that the answer is all of the above. So we are advocating for all types of energy.
Well, but you need to have different strategies, right? I mean,
yes.
If you need to do all of the above, the strategy to choose is going to be pretty complicated. You need to have some priorities.
So right now, the primary focus is on the things that we have.
I have here a question that I received from the president of the European Geoscience Union. His name is Jonathan Bamber. He is from Bristol, UK. AAPG seems to have a somewhat ambiguous view of the impact of fossil fuel burning on the climate system. The overwhelming scientific consensus is that anthropogenic climate change is a serious concern that requires immediate action to mitigate against. If you agree with this, can you then say what AAPG is doing to help reduce the risks for dangerous climate change? If you dispute this, can you explain why you are at odds with the leaders of 197 nations around the world who agreed in Paris in 2015 that this is the case?
Wow. Well, thank you for that. What I don't think people realize is how much progress we are actually making, because A lot of the new techniques that we're excited about are enabling more use of clean-burning natural gas. And over the last decade, particularly in North America, and I have this information from our good friend Scott Tinker, we have seen a tremendous swap out from a lot of the coal and some of the other not as clean-burning fuels to a lot more of the natural gas. And I think that that's a revolution. This has happened in the last decade. The progress about making some important energy switches that are going to get us to cleaner environment are actually happening. And I would say the answer is, of course, we need to do a better job on...
Well, when you say we, who do you talk about?
Well, industry, the energy providers. We need to do a very good job about keeping the environment clean. The geoscientists who are working to find the energy are all very environmentally minded. Most of the geoscientists I know are very outdoor individuals, and they love camping and they love hiking, and they have a passionate interest in keeping the environment clean. So I think we're making some significant progress on what we can do as far as energy switching to more cleaner fuels.
But do you agree or disagree with the scientific consensus that the anthropogenic climate change is a serious concern that requires immediate action to mitigate against?
Well, I recognize that there are climate experts that have a lot of expertise in this topic. And what I would say is that these are policy decisions. I would say that AAPG supports the discussion. We support the science and the conversation. We are not climate scientists. We are energy providers. So I would say that we support an open dialogue on this subject, but we are not advocating one way or another. We are here to help to provide what the energy that we need for people to have a better life.
So it seems that the AAPG is kind of neutral. It's not going to take any active action on this topic.
We have some information on our website which is basically in supporting of the scientific discussion, but it is not a prime directive for AAPG. AAPG's goal is to help the men and women who are trying to keep everyone with energy choices so that they can have a better life.
Okay, I ask you this question because the Great Society, not just the geologists, or the geologists that are also citizens, they are pretty interested in this topic. Some of them, they are worried for one reason, some of them for another reason. But it is a very hot topic that I think that we need to discuss about. In fact, I was reading the position statements of the AAPG, and in here you're right that the AAPG recognizes that the climate simulation models, they predict that the warming trend will continue, and also it recognizes that there are important academies like National Academy of Science, American Geophysical Union, American Academy for the Advancement of Science, and American Meteorological Society. AAPG recognizes and respects this scientific position. But the position statements added to the current climate warming projections could fall within well-documented natural variations in the past climate. So the statement is not that clear, and so that's why I'm asking you if you can take the same position of a different position with respect to what is written in here that was uploaded in August of 2011.
I really would say that I don't have anything to add to it. The only thing that I think is really important for people to realize, for those of us who have come through the geoscience education, is that our climate has varied greatly throughout geohistory. And so, for example, in the Eocene and several million years ago and all throughout our history, climate has been hotter than it is now, long before men and women have been around. And we have had climates that have been colder than they are now, ice ages before men and women have been around. So I think that it is important for us as responsible professionals to do everything we can to be as clean as we can and to do things. That's why I think it's very significant that we have made a major transformation to more clean-burning natural gas. It has been a revolution in the last decade. We have made a major swap from carbon in the atmosphere from coal to clean-burning natural gas. So I think it's really critical that we do as much as we can to be clean about it. And we're very busy offering those opportunities